Foiling is an expensive prospect, but what if you can get a foiled look without the foil price? Today I'm trying gilding flakes, the cheapest gilding flakes I could find, and we're going to put it to the test. Let's get crafting. I'm going to be using Curate Plus Color from Hobby Lobby. This was $1.99 per pot in silver and gold, and some varying widths of scrapbook.com's double-sided adhesive tape. Today's card was a vintage retro inspired card, and I wanted to create some diagonal stripes with my double-sided tape. Now, if you've ever tried diagonal stripes, you know that if you don't get the angle correct, it kind of just feels off. So I learned this tip from Jennifer McGuire, and once you choose your first diagonal strip and you put it down, you're going to use your glass mat as a guide. Now I'm going to line the tape up so that the tape is straight. And then I'm going to line up all of the subsequent double-sided tape to another line on that cardstock, keeping the angles correct. I'm just using the stripes on the glass mat as my guide. Now, if you don't have multiple widths of double-sided tape, you can get a similar look by just varying the width between your stripes. Again, just use the guide on your glass mat or on your cutting mat so that your angles still remain the same. After removing the cardstock from my glass mat, I'm going to go ahead and cut off any extra tape with my Tim Holtz 9.5-inch titanium shears. So I wanted to pop in before I showed you the application of the gilding flakes for a couple of really good tips. The first thing I can tell you is these things are lighter than air. So they will take flight and they will be everywhere. It is far worse than black glitter or black embossing powder. So first tip, make sure you have no air conditioning, no heating, no ceiling fans, basically no air circulation in the room that you are working in because, well, you will have foil flakes everywhere. The second thing is that you need to have some way of containing them. They won't fit back into the same container. They're like really compact in the container that you get. And these particular flakes are rather large. Sometimes they're a ½ inch or even an inch wide by a couple of inches. So they will break apart as you use them. You need some way of containing them. And I went to the dollar store and bought 3 containers that would fit my cardstock. And well, as you can see, there's even some hanging out of here. You can't 100% control this stuff. That is the real downfall. It comes out great, but it gives you a rather vintage look, a retro look. And you're going to see by the final side how I decided to style my cards. And you see whether or not this is a project for you. So I want every other stripe to be gold. So I have just removed the adhesive top for every other stripe, leaving the other ones intact because I don't want to contaminate those other stripes with the gold. You're just going to take your foil flakes, push them into the adhesive, and use your finger to rub them in, and all of the excess is going to come off as you burnish those in with your fingers. Now you may find that you need to add some additional flakes, and that's fine. You can certainly add more if the adhesive is exposed. So I do believe that one of the reasons why these foil flakes are so inexpensive is because of quality. It still produced a really pretty card, so I wouldn't have a problem buying them again, but as you can see, they're really clumped together. Now, I did find on a Black Friday special some Nuvo copper flakes that I have on order. I don't think they're going to get here till next week though. So I really wanted to kind of test them against something that is a name brand. Now here I'm using a very stiff stencil brush to wipe away any additional flakes that are left on my card. And it kind of polishes the look as you do that. Once you've removed the vast majority of it, go ahead and go to your work surface and continue burnishing that. You'll see that some of the flakes are still continuing to come off, and that is a-okay. A great way to clean this up is either a Swiffer or a dryer sheet. So I found the dryer sheet to be quite useful actually. Cleaned up my work surface very easily. Okay, I'm going to move on to do the exact same thing with my silver foil flakes. Now I do need to remove the top of the adhesive backing for that, and I am using a Spellbinders tool-in-one. I've got the little hooky grip on the side. I really like that one. I leave that one on all the time, and I'm going to go ahead and release that tape and go ahead and add my silver foil flakes. The same thing applies here to the silver as it did the gold. I have removed all of the excess foil flakes and it's time to put this card together. I am using an A2 size top folding white accent opaque card base, and I am going to cut this down just a little bit, and I am going to decorate this one. I love this. This is Retro Santa, and it is a Sizzix thinlet and one of the easiest to put together. I just literally did the die cuts. I didn't do any inking. The only extra special thing I did was I cut out his buckle in some gold metallic cardstock. Now I've left some stamped sentiments on their acetate backer to line it up to see if I would like these on there. I've selected one, 'Tis the Season, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere my card panel down to my card base. I am using Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue. It is my all-time favorite craft glue, and as such, it needs to desperately be refilled. If you want to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room on any glue when you're using a precision tip, just add a heavier coat, for lack of a better term, than what you normally would, and it will allow you just a little bit more wiggle room so that you can get it placed exactly where you want it. Have you heard? We've got a Facebook page. Come and join us over on Facebook at Village Card and Craft, where you can share all of your crafty creations with the rest of our group. Next up, I am going to line up my Retro Santa with the actual edge of the card rather than the edge of the top layer. I just thought it'd add a little bit more interest that way. And again, I'm just using my Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue to go ahead and get him glued down. Finish this up with a sentiment on vellum backed by black cardstock, and it is ready to go. Let's check out this card as well as the other one that I made. What did you think about gilding flakes? Would you try them? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed what you saw today and you'd like to see more videos on foiling without a foil machine, check out my playlist right up there. Until next time, I'll see you real soon.